people look for wisdom. They look for it in universities. They study a lot of books. They go through master classes. And back in the day, in biblical times, Greeks were known for having a lot of knowledge and also looking for wisdom. And Apostle Paul wrote to Corinthians, and they were Greeks, that if someone thinks that he is wise in this age, he must become foolish so that he may become wise. And vice versa. The people in this world look at Christians and at the things that are important to God, and they count those things as foolishness. So no matter which way you look for wisdom, seems like one of the camps, either from God's perspective or from people's perspective, you and your choices may look as foolish to them, to one of them. And there is no way that you can be wise in everyone's eyes simultaneously at the same time. So you'd need to choose whom to please and which camp to please. The world sees things that are precious to God as foolishness. For example, talking about cross. It's important to God. It is a way that God reconciled the world to himself, but the world calls it foolishness. In 1 Corinthians 1:18, it's written, "For the word of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God." We see that the world doesn't see the precious things that are precious in God's eyes. They don't see them as precious. They see them as foolishness. And I would like to share with you a quote by Peter L. Berger from First Things that explains why a cross seemed to be a foolish idea, and it was a sign of foolishness to people then. It is the cross, part of the message that constitutes the stumbling block, the folly. It is a crucial motive in Christianity that theologians have called the kenosis, the humiliation of God. The same God who has all power, who created this world and all possible worlds, has taken upon himself the form and the fate of an ordinary man, and indeed the man who suffered the most agonizing afflictions of betrayal, torture, despair, and death. On the other side, God calls those foolish who don't keep the commandments and those who don't have knowledge and understanding. It's written in Proverbs. I would like to look at James chapter 3, verses 13 through 18, and see what God calls wise, and then we can make a conclusion of what is actually foolish. So read with me. James chapter 3, verses 13 through 18. "Who among you is wise and understanding? Let him show by his good behavior his deeds and the gentleness of wisdom. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your heart, do not be arrogant and so lie against the truth. This wisdom is not that which comes down from above, but is earthly, natural, demonic. For where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there is disorder and every evil thing. But the wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, reasonable, full of mercy and good fruits, unwavering, without hypocrisy. And the seed whose fruit is righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace." And as you can see, there are two wisdoms described here. And one of them competes. It has jealousy, selfish ambition, arrogant, lying, and it's said that it's earthly, natural, and demonic. And second type of wisdom cares about other people. It is pure, it's peaceable, it looks for peace among other people. So instead of competing, it looks for unity. It looks for the benefit of the community. And there is no middle ground. These two wisdoms don't cross. We cannot please two sides. In Proverbs 29:27, let's open that. Proverbs 29:27 says, "An unjust man is abominable to the righteous, and he who is upright in the way is abominable to the wicked. For instance, you decide to follow God's command and to stay sexually pure. How do other people look at you, the people of this world? Do they congratulate you on that? Or do they consider it as foolish? For example, you're 14, 18, 20, 30 years old. How do they look at you? You get mocked. And your emotions are messed up. You're a healthy guy or a girl, and you still get laughed at. Or snickered around, quietly, maybe. Will you choose a wise and healthy way to live? God condemns foolishness in the book of Proverbs, yet people think of God's commandments as foolish, and they don't consider it, they don't esteem God's views. So there will be a conflict that you will come with, and there will be laughter, misunderstanding from the world if you choose to follow God's ways, God's values. And my question is for you is, what camp will you choose? Will you choose to find pleasure in God's eyes? There is no middle ground. And if it may be tough when you make a decision, but you are the one who needs to make a decision.